Well, good morning. Kind of foggy and kind of yucky out, but I'm going to try to get out. I think the rain's supposed to move out. It's supposed to be cloudy all day, but it's supposed to get up to I think 54. So I'm gonna probably go kayaking this afternoon. I didn't go yesterday. Worked around outside here until it started sprinkling. But yeah, and then it's supposed to get cold. It's supposed to be I think high of 39 on Wednesday. So figure I'll get out today. But I was out. I was out a few. Well, let's see, not the last time, but the time before I was down here behind the house, down here at the gorge, finishing my coffee before I got out of the water and came home. And I hear this voice yell out my name, and John, John. So I paddled back, and he's coming down the steps. He was on his mountain bike, so he was coming down the steps, and he goes, "It's Justin." And I hadn't seen him in, oh man, long time. We talked for quite a while. We actually reminisced for quite a while. I think he was when I used to kayak and see those guys, they'd yell at me, and then I'd float with them and stop on the islands and talk and visit with them and that. He was probably in his 20s then, and now I figure he's the age I was back then. I don't know if you can see that, but that's me back in the day. I had a flatter tummy. I was just a younger guy. I had a little more hair, but he's about this age here now, and he was in his 20s back then, and I'm thinking, wow. The song that I post today, it won't be biblically correct. It won't have sound doctrine, but it'll reflect what I was feeling. It was a song called "Days Gone By" Keith Urban, and it reminded me of when we used to play it. My son was probably 12 or 14, going to Roy Gale Park baseball game. My daughter was small, and we'd all be in the truck or I think I had a Ford. I'm not sure what I had back then, but we'd have the windows rolled down. We'd have that music playing, because there's a verse that says, "With your hands out the window, as the wind goes by, days go by," and it reminded me of that song. So I'll post it. But yeah, it goes by. But Justin, we were talking about all the times I used to stop and talk with him, and one time he was mentioning this story. I'll share it. And they were all on an island, and I was going upriver, and they yelled at me to come over and float with them, and they were all stopped on the island. And so I pull up to the island, and I'm just sitting in my kayak, and I this is how I looked back then. I probably had my shirt off, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden this lady, she was very inebriated, and she was older than them. I don't know. She was at least 10, maybe 15 years older than them, because they were in their 20s. She was probably 30s, 40s, I guess. But she was on the island at the same time. She wasn't with them. But she comes over and she plops herself right on the front part of the kayak, facing me, right in front of me, just literally set down right, just out of nowhere, just comes and sits down, and her breath, it smelled like a mixture of vomit and booze. It almost made me sick, But all of a sudden, Zach just comes over and grabs her. It takes. He goes, "You leave him alone. He's our dad." And we had a laugh about that story, but yeah, I'm gonna read a scripture here. But we had a bottom line is it was good to see him, and it was good reminiscing about days gone by, and when I wore a younger man's clothes, I guess you might say. But he was glad to see that I was still paddling and still kayaking. But anyhow, let me read this verse. I'm going to read one verse here out of Hebrews. Hebrews 12:1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set out before us. And that verse made me think of this. This is all that's left. But I was out in the woods getting firewood the other day, and I don't know if you can see these little things. My grandma called them beggar's lice. There's one right here. They stick. And they're like, they get all over you. And it made me think of how daily the race that we're running that's set before us, we encounter things that latch on. Sin. Let us lay aside every little beggar's lice that clings, and it's coming at us from all angles. The world, you know, you constantly having to fight off, whatever it may be, whatever weakness that the evil one knows to fling at you, that encumbers you and slows you down from running that race. But I got them off of all my pants. Because I had literally, when you ever get these things, they just literally stick all along your sleeves and on your pants, and it encumbers you. You have to, they're itching you, and so I don't know if that's a good analogy or not, but that's what I'm gonna go with today. So, all righty, you all have a good one, and God bless.